is a quality piece of cardio equipment something that's lacking from your home gym? Well, stay tuned. We're going to check this one out. Now, this is the Dolphin Elliptical Trainer from YOSUDA. I've seen some of their equipment in the past. They've done really well in the budget realm with the exercise bikes and spin bikes of that nature. A lot of them have a lot of key features that you'll see in things like Peloton and other high-end brands at a fraction of the cost. And I think this is kind of what they're trying to do here. They're trying to create their own high quality home gym, I would say light commercial type of piece of equipment. So the company reached out to me and asked me if I'd be interested in doing an honest review on this machine. I haven't had an elliptical in years. I used to own the Soul E25, and now it's at my mother-in-law's house. So I had some good experience with that and other commercial gym pieces over the years. And I've said in the past that the E25 is probably one of the better, if not best options for home gym elliptical machines. And this one is trying to be a competitor to that. And I've seen that from some of the features and things on here. Some of the things are similar. Some of the things are what you might consider upgrades, depending on your use case. Now, on all my reviews, I like to give you guys kind of the bigger guy's perspective. Somebody that has a good amount of body weight, whether it's a bench or a cardio piece of equipment. I like to let you guys know how it would feel for somebody that's larger size. If it'll work for me, it should work for most smaller people as well. There's maybe some adjustments here or there. So a few of the things I want to know personally, if I was looking at purchasing this piece of equipment from me as an individual, my size, my stature, one of the first things I would want to know is what's the weight capacity? This one has a listed weight capacity of 330 pounds, which is close to the industry standard. I like to see them at least above the 300 range, closer to that 350 if possible, but this one is right there in the middle at 330 pounds. Most of it's all still frame construction except for like the plastic shrouds and things that go around the different bars, but the frame in general is pretty much all steel. The handles, the lower frame, the inner frame. So you shouldn't have any problems with stability or durability. It all seems to be well made and high quality steel. The next thing I want to know as a bigger person is what is the stride length? Now, this is a 20-inch stride length, which is supposed to mimic your normal walking and running gaits. And that is industry standard. So that's something really nice they did here. You'll see that on the Soul Elliptical and some other machines too. That's where you want to be, is kind of that 20-inch stride length. And it has a 20-pound flywheel, which is also right in there for industry standards. And that gait of 20 inches is kind of what you want for most people, because it should go from 6'7", which is quite a bit taller than me, or 5'7", and I've noticed that to be fine as well. I've had my kids on it, have my wife on it. My personal height is right in there about 6'1.5", and that depends on what kind of lifting I've been doing. You know, how much weight I've had on my back recently. If I've been doing yoke pulls, it might be an inch or so. It might be an inch or so shorter, but around that height. So it's comfortable for me, and I kind of have longer legs too. So my limb lengths are a bit longer than normal. Like I said, I'm right in there around that 6'1" range, but I have a 6'3" wingspan. So my legs and arms are a little bit longer than some people's based on your torso ratios and things like that. So something to be aware of. So I found it very easy and very comfortable to use. That's one thing you want to know is this piece of equipment just going to turn into a laundry clothes rack, or are you actually going to use it in your home gym? I think some of the key things there are, how easy is it to use? Is it comfortable? Yes, you're trying to get you're trying to get a workout in and sweat, but there are things that make it easier, more comfortable, easier to use. And some of those things are like simple things like having a water bottle holder. So when you start sweating on this thing, especially in the Tennessee heat, you're going to wish you had one. I found it pretty easy to use. When you hop on and it's plugged in, the power's on, you just turn on and it'll start up on its own. You don't have to start or anything like this, but there are different modes and things you can pick. So you can change the resistance in 2 spots. It has resistance up, down on the handle grips, the center handle grips, and incline increase. Up to 32 levels of resistance, which is quite a bit more than the Soul. I think the Soul only has about 20. So this one has 32 different levels of resistance and 20 levels of incline. And you can adjust those right here on your settings. Now, some of the cool things about it, it has 12 built-in programs, which some other machines on the market like the Soul may only have 6 or 8 programs, depending on which model you get. I had an older model, but some of the newer models I think have some more programs on there. There's 12 built-in programs, which is more than any of the ones I've seen on the market, at least at this price point. So basically you have 4 beginner programs, 4 advanced programs, and 4 sporty programs. You can just jump right on and select one of the 12 programs that's already installed. which I like to do. My favorite of all of them is the sporty, but they're just different levels. The beginner program is one that will slowly increase the resistance over time to kind of regulate your heart rate. And then the advanced program will be a little bit higher, fast paced. And then the sporty, which is my favorite, like on some of the older machines out there in the past, they had weight loss settings. And in my opinion, this sporty version is the old weight loss setting of some of the old commercial gyms, like the Star Trek or the Precor, some of those commercial gym units. They had a weight loss setting that I really liked. And basically what that does is it's going to give you intervals, speed and resistance intervals. So you'll go at a constant speed and it'll jack the incline up for one round and then it'll go back down and vice versa. I really like those. I mean, I did one the other day and I was sweating. I just had to wring the sweat out. And, it's like mid 80s, 90 degrees in Tennessee, and definitely got a good workout in that day. I do like the monitor. It does everything you need it to do. The programs are easy to see. It has a blue backlight, so you can see, even in the sun or darker times, you can see that display from further away. So I do like that it has a backlit monitor with that blue color. It's easy to see. So the resistance is also on the handles, but it's also on display as well. You can adjust it either way. I just find it easier to use the controller, the joystick handles, whatever you want to call them. There is a built-in fan and speakers. Even on the highest level of the fan, I mean, you can barely feel it. So I would just do something like get yourself a bigger fan. I mean, that's right there. It's on the highest setting and I can barely feel it. It's almost like there's no air coming out of it, even if I'm up, close to it. The speakers are okay. They are a little cracky and crunchy. Maybe I'll try to throw you a clip in here so you can hear them. Lifting and dragging is all I know. Pop another shade and take it slow. Living easy gets hard when you're going all in. I ask myself, what would Huck Finn do again? My strength goes, yeah. I said, sometimes I feel like giving up. Some non-copyright music or something, but they're not great. They are right here, so they're close to you. You can hear it. But like I said, if the fan is not really if the fan doesn't really work that well, so you're probably going to have a bigger industrial fan or some type of, gym fan that you can turn on in your house or your gym, and that the fan's going to be blowing, so you're probably not going to hear those speakers that well. So you're probably just better off doing some headphones or something like that. Even though these are Bluetooth, they will work with your tablet or iPad. Maybe if you're in an indoor setting and you don't have to have a fan going or something like that, maybe it'll work well. There is a tablet holder display up here that I do like. It's pretty large. It can shrink down and even hold something like a small phone. It has a little rubber piece back here to keep it gripped, but this thing goes up pretty large. So even though my children's tablet, it has a large like foam case around it, it'll even fit on here too. So if that'll fit on here, your normal tablets and things should fit on there. A lot of times I'll try to watch a YouTube video or something like that. Some of my favorite guys, YouTube channels, or I'll watch a TV show that I'm into. I also have a large TV set up here in front. So depending on what I'm doing, I may face it towards the TV or, just watch something on the tablet, depending on what else is going on. It has some app connectivity as well, Kino Map and some other different programs that you can use the Bluetooth. You can download off Google Play or the App Store. I'll put a list of those on the screen so you can, if you're interested in that, you can research those. I don't use any of those personally, but they are available if that's something you want to do. I found the controls and display and everything pretty easy to use. Resistance and the incline level is on the handles, these joystick type handles, but it's also on the main monitor as well. So you can adjust the incline, and that's how you turn the fan and everything on there as well. One thing I may have forgotten to mention is it does have a heart rate monitor built in, and you just grab it on these paddles and it regulates your heart rate. And I have a Garmin watch, so I try to keep up with my heart rate via my Garmin watch, and it's pretty accurate for as far as watches go. There's about a 15 to 20 beats per minute variance. So, and it does take a while for these to catch up to the heart rate. Eventually it does, but it only gets within about 15 beats a minute as of like my watch. So that's how I'm comparing them. The best way to do it would be wear a Bluetooth heart rate monitor around your chest. That would be the most accurate, but I don't have one of those. But if you want to do that, it's an option. So maybe they could dial this in a little more. It's nice that they have it, but I don't know how accurate it is. So that's something to be aware of. If you're going to do something like the heart rate regulation, you might want to wear a heart rate monitor or, you know, have a higher quality heart rate monitor, but I do like that they have it on there. It's a nice ad. Some of these home gym items don't have a heart rate monitor built in, which is good. I just don't know how accurate it actually is. And that's something that you might have to experiment with and try and see how you like it compared to your other options that you may have at home. Hey guys, Future Carp here. I wanted to jump back in and let you guys know one of the questions I got was about the YOSUDA Elliptical warranty. So I reached out to YOSUDA and did some research on my own, and they came back and said that they do have a limited 3-year warranty. I believe that covers all the parts and accessories, and then 5 years on the frame. And that's a limited warranty, so that's only for indoor use and home use. If you put it in a commercial gym or light commercial facility, that warranty is not covered, but in home use, indoors, that should cover your warranties. So that's the question you guys had. Some of the other ones I've seen out there only have a 2-year warranty. So they're going to do 3 years on accessories and parts, and then 5 years on the frame in home use. So just so you know, I hope that answers your question. From the questions we put on Instagram, that was the biggest question. People want to know what the warranty was. So back to the rest of the review. So I like the unit overall, but what would I change? Is there anything I would change or update to this? I'm not sure that I love these handles. I mean, they are comfortable, but I can see they're already showing wear here when I grab them. So that might be something to monitor over time. I do like the stability and everything of the unit, having the 2 rails and everything. But what I did notice is it has these foam pads on top of the foot pedals. So I'd rather have some type of denser rubber. These are like a foam tile type rubber. I'd rather have some type of denser rubber or grooves or some type of diamond plate type thing in there to help with the grip. I would prefer rubber, but I can tell these foam ones looks like they may wear down over time because they're already starting to get, you can see some of my shoe prints and things like that in there. But as far as overall stability, I like it fine. The other thing I would change would be the speaker fan system. So like a lot of times when I'm working out of the gym, I'll just use something like one of my Bluetooth speakers, like a Sony, or I got this Soundcore here. It's very loud for the size. It's much louder than the 2 speakers on here, and it's better sound quality. So I would recommend them either updating the speaker system or just getting rid of them altogether. It does work with Bluetooth, but like I said, if you're running a fan, because this fan is not that great, you're not going to be able to hear them that well anyways. So I would just do headphones or something like that if I was working out and have an industrial fan. So if they want to update this, I would probably get rid of the speakers and just make a larger fan. Or if they want to keep the speakers, maybe take the fan and moving it down, putting it down here and do something like an adjustable airflow vent like you see in cars or other pieces of equipment. You can adjust the fan blades to blow higher or lower to where depending on where you want it, or even shut it off altogether. But overall, I like the piece of equipment. How does it stack up as far as price? Because I think the retail is about $1,600, and that's, you know, up there in the upper home gym items. So you have things like Nordic Track, and like I said, the E25 and E35 from Soul. They're around that price range. Some of them are a little bit more into the $2,000 range. So this one at the $1,600-ish retail is comparable. I don't know if I would pay that much for it, but good news for you is they're currently running a 4th of July sale, and they run several other sales throughout the year. So with the sale price, I think it comes in around $1,100, which makes it, you know, very appealing for a home gym unit, high quality piece of equipment. Is it something I would necessarily keep in my home gym? Probably not in the weightlifting area. If I was going to keep this piece of equipment, it would probably be indoors in a spare bedroom or a den or something where I have a little bit more space and I can put it over in the corner and it won't take a lot of space, and it will be in air conditioning because out here 90-degree plus temperatures in the summer, I mean, I was dripping sweat. So that's something to be aware of. I like the piece of equipment overall. I would recommend it to you if you're looking for a piece like this. If you're a larger person, I think it's going to be okay for you as long as you're not well above that 330-pound weight limit, because I know it can at least hold that, because I even put a vest on when I was using it to make sure that it can hold up to that level. So if you're in there or less, I think you're fine. It's sizes of people too. Like I said, I had my wife and kids on it too. They both found it comfortable. The stride length and everything was comfortable. The handle grips, they were able to find somewhere to grip, even the smallest ones.